Oh, right. I am Andrea Reynolds. I was a fifth grade teacher in Metro Atlanta, Georgia, and I am leaving the classroom because I want to share my love of social studies on a more global level. I want to be able to help more teachers and more kids than just a small classroom. And my business is Running Things with Reynolds, and I create digital products that help modify social studies for gifted learners and ESOL kids. And I also just like to share my ideas because I got a lot of them. So this is my co-host, Michelle.
Hello, I'm Michelle Boyd, and I took fifth grade in California. And I love teaching. I've taught for 22 years and love to share. I don't have a store and I don't have a blog, but I love learning and trying new things.
Yes, and Michelle just shares her ideas out of the goodness of her heart. She has a lot of good ones. So I am glad to be back doing this blab. Hello. So this time of the summer, those of us who have kids know that they're starting to get antsy. And I said before, my son is 14, so he's not really driving me crazy other than the smell, so we won't get into that. But I thought that this might be a good time to do a broadcast because there are some skills that we don't get to during the school year that would make for fun summer activities. Because when I say fun social studies activities, I mean educational things. And there are a lot of geography skills that just naturally fall into traveling. And, there's a big, huge holiday coming up in July. So there you go. Social studies galore during the summer. There's lots of holidays that relate to social studies. Flag Day, Juneteenth just happened. So many social studies opportunities to talk about. And I posted a whole bunch of links in the comments in case something happened, but I'm going to compile them on my website, and I have the replay posted there already. And I'm also going to, I think I'm going to make like a calendar or a choice board of summer activities as well. Because I was thinking about that while I was waiting to pick up another medication for my son who had an allergic reaction to 3 different medications. So 2 different ones. But anyways, Michelle, I will let you get started because I always talk too much and I want to make sure that you get to share your ideas.
Well, it's funny because I'm planning a unit about the regions of California, or not California, United States. And so I found this book about a road trip.
Yeah.
And so it goes through the states and, has different fun facts about each state and those kind of things. So I was going to do that and plan a unit about going on the road trip through the region. And I also found a junior ranger activity book, which I brought it home from the bookstore, and my son was already trying to figure out some of the stuff that was inside. So it was fun. Like, there's puzzles and Mad Libs that are like based on national parks and weird but true things about things in the different states. There's puzzle and game and fun facts.
Cool. That looks really fun. Yeah, the national parks and stuff like that, that's really neat. And I know it has like a little science spin on it with all the like animals and stuff looks like. So I realize that not everybody loves social studies. So those kids that love animals and science, you can tie them in and hook them that way. I think I was speaking about like random USA things. I believe I found these at Dollar Tree last year, like a set of like capitals and states. So I'm pretty sure these came from Dollar Tree. Anytime I see something like that,
I have those too.
Yeah. I mean, check Dollar Tree and there's an awesome vocabulary about the states too. I remember learning that state song when I was in 5th grade, learning the song, and I still remember it. Garage sales or Goodwill are gonna be great places to look for like map games or atlases. I believe I'm pretty sure I found this at Goodwill, maybe. I don't think I bought, or the Scholastic Warehouse sale. One of those. I have a ton of books. So that's just like a first, it's like first atlas. And so it'll be more for primary. Let's see. Oh, no, I think it came from, I don't know where it came from, but it's more for primary kids too. And then another Goodwill find or garage sale, like this puzzle. This has got a ton of pieces. So check garage sales because people just don't know the treasures they give away. And this has 6 pieces. This is a whole world. This will keep your kids busy for a while. And I don't even know if it had all the pieces, but you know what? It's 600 pieces, so it's going to take them a while to finish it. And if some pieces are missing, then that's okay. And also, other like random. So I know I found this at Five Below or something.
Yeah, that's funny. We have this.
Yes, puzzles. And you know, you don't have to make it fancy. Several years ago, I took index cards, and if you want your kid, because you'd be surprised. Well, if you're a teacher, you wouldn't be surprised, but parents, you'd be surprised at how little kids know about basic geography of the country, like outside of their own state. It's just really shocking to me and frightening, actually. So if you can have them, you know, I just wrote on, and this was way before the TBT days. This was old school, writing the states and capitals on index cards.
Right.
You know, and just matching them up. Let's see. And also, I mean, social studies is all around you. I found this at a garage sale. Okay? Social studies is everywhere. It's everywhere. A follow-up to your the state idea. Have you guys heard of this book, The Train of States? Peter said.
Yes, I have that one.
Yeah, you can see this one has been well loved. Kids love this book. And years ago, I found this. I think I've had this since I was student teaching. I could be wrong. And it's recipes from all 50 states. So that takes it to another level. And look, I think they made, looks like even like pancakes or cookie cutters. So you could have the kids like research different 50 states and like make recipes from the different states. Or you could have them find out, you know, if they love science, have them do something about the state. Every state has like a state fish, a state mammal, a state everything. So tie in what they like.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. It was called American Grub. I assume it's still in print. Like I said, I don't know what name is on it. It doesn't say, I can usually tell when I got something based on if it's my maiden name, my first husband's name, second husband's name. So this one doesn't have a name, so I don't know. Let's see. Brain Quest. I assume these are still out and about. Pretty sure most of the stuff you can find on Amazon, but this is the kind of stuff that, you know, you could play with your child. They could play it like siblings could play together. And I bet if they, you know, unless you're a huge history is my area. Geography, not so much. So, you know, if my son quiz me, I might make my son do some of these. Neither one of my kids loves social studies. So definitely Brain Quest, and this is the America version. And it says ages 9 and up, and I'm sure that you can find these online. I'm guessing like most of the bookstores have them or Amazon. So this is 850 questions, all about history, people, culture, all of that kind of stuff.
And going with the states too, I know there's an app. My son still loves the app. Stack the States.
Yes, that one. My kid, I had that. My kids like that too, and they're Stack the Countries too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's a fun one. He always loved that, and they learn a lot.
Yes, and they don't realize, like when you put them on technology, they don't realize that they're, you know, learning. But that one was one they really liked.
Yeah.
Something I had made when I taught Montessori. I taught Montessori in the public school classroom in South Carolina when I lived there. And we had to create materials that were Montessori-ish, but, you know, still went to the standards. And so we would put a lot of things on cards. And you could take, like, old workbooks that you have and put them on cards for your kids. This is, like, out of a math skills book. And, you know, if they it's not a worksheet, but they could right. They circle the one that doesn't belong. And you could take any map skills. You could take any map skills activity. This one was just like cards, and they could write on it. Or my favorite way to laminate is using a sheet protector, because that's like takes 5 seconds. So that was another thing. Also, with the states, I have something in my store that's an I Spy landmarks, and I'm actually making it into task cards. But I posted the website, that amerifo.net. It is it has everything landmark related, and it is an amazing resource. And I have these little like, what is this? My son was like, what is that? I don't know. And it's like I Spy. It's a play on the iPads. I Spy. And then there's like an answer, and I made it into like an interactive bulletin board in my classroom. But like, different, there's all different colors and just different like landmarks. And these are good for like your ESOL kids too, because they're not going to know these basic landmarks. And like even, I'm sure, Michelle, you probably know this one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, this one, I mean, everybody knows that one. So that will be the White House. So that's just something that I have in my store. That I Spy, and I have a Google Drive version of it too. That's like $1.50 because it's pretty basic, but something to do. And like I said, I posted a ton of links up on the side, but it's Amerifo, like AMERIFO. And I was like, what in the world? It's like America Info. That's where the title came from. It's a great website.
And then, like scavenger hunts are always cool. Like you could make a scavenger hunt for the kids, and it could be based on social studies or it could be based on anything really. But so once they draw something, it'll give a clue to the next clue, and so on and so on. So I know I've done that just to keep my kids busy.
Yes,
in the summer,
definitely.
Or they can make their own.
Yes, that's
another good one.
Especially if they have like younger brothers or sisters, that keeps them busy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I made these for the for our TPT meetup. They're just like trivia cards about Atlanta. So you could have your kids like make up trivia cards, or you could, I mean, if you're so inclined to make it like super cutesy. But I just wrote down like a bunch of trivia questions because, of course, social studies, you can start with your own city and your own area, because that's going to be the most important thing to start with, of course, is getting to know your own area. And then I made a little answer key, and then also gave them the answers too. So that keep it self-correcting.
Yeah, because I was thinking you could do something like in Old Town, like we have our Old Town Temecula. So you could make a scavenger hunt, and then they would have to find the different things.
Yes.
Before, you just have to take, a little while to figure out where you're going to go and find those clues, and then they kind of check it off when they get there, or have a little clipboard or something like that.
Yeah, and
or on the phone.
A lot of those museums and stuff like that, they're free or low cost. I know like to get into the Georgia Archives, our Georgia Archives has, like, each state is going to have like a state archives, and they have a lot of programs during the summer too. And I went to a genealogy picnic a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to do a whole separate blog show about that, like genealogy stuff you can do with kids, because that's something that like I would do as a parent when you get into like talking about family trees and stuff like that with your students. That can get kind of iffy area, if your kids are from another country, or if you have kids who are adopted. So that I just kind of tread lightly on in the classroom. But if you're not sure what's in your area, well, when I was little, my favorite thing to do at a rest stop was to pick up every single little brochure there was. And so when I went somewhere, I picked up, when I went to Tennessee to do that conference, I was like, oh, wow, there's the mining history trail in Tennessee. And then there's like a whole thing about Cherokee, Native Americans, and more about the Cherokee. And there's like Civil War trails in Tennessee. And so that, and I'm in Georgia, so it's not that far away. So if you're not sure what you have in your area, then go to a rest stop and pick up a bunch of brochures, or your kids might just that to me, that was like a treasure. I would come home with like a pile of these brochures when I was little.
Yeah, and another thing I do each summer is he collects little artifacts. It could be ticket stubs, it could be a seashell from the beach, or anything like that. We put it in a jar and so that he has all his memories for that summer in the jar. And so he has them for a few years now, and we can go back and get him. So that's another idea.
Yeah, that's fun. Keep little artifacts, and then they could even you have your kids make a timeline of like your family events, something to do. And that was definitely one of my suggestions, is like family stories, writing things down while you can. Let's see. I've got a ton of, I'm always one of ton of ideas. Oh, I know I don't even know if I'm gonna say this right. I might embarrass myself. That whole geocaching thing. I don't know anything really about that, but I heard Mary with your Smarticles scope about it before, but that looks like something that would be really cool to do this summer.
Yeah, I have that on my things to do list.
Yeah, I think there's, an app? Okay, if you know more about it, then please talk about it, because like I said,
I just know that there's an app, and then you use your GPS, and you go and you find a thing, and then you're supposed to leave little trinkets.
Yeah.
And write your name down, that kind of stuff. I don't know all the details. But
I actually just Googled what is geocaching. I looked it up and watched like a YouTube tutorial because I didn't really understand it. But I think definitely if you have like middle school age kids and teenagers, they're not going to sit there and like color and stuff all summer. So that kind of stuff I think would be really cool for them to do, or older kids to do. And stuff, because it's really hard, like when you have teenagers, to come up with like things like, okay, I like shopping, I like, girly stuff, and for me to do find things to do with my son is kind of a little bit hard. So I think that might be something that might be fun for like moms and sons maybe, or even anybody.
Yeah, and I did passion project with my kids this year for Genius Hour. And so I was thinking that that's another thing that those kids, at like that age group, like 4th, 5th, and up. So it's just like anything they're interested in. And then they can research and find out more, like to find out how to do something. So how to make a video game, or how to code, or, how to bake cupcakes. There's different, my kids did all different things. One of them was learning Japanese. So that's another good one. You take what they're interested in and then have them research. And you can help them, facilitate that. But you get that buy-in because they want to learn.
Yes, that was something that I ran out of time for, but I love that idea. And definitely if you give them some guidance with what to do while they're, instead of just go look up,
right,
whatever. If you tell them, okay, here, why don't you put together like a Prezi or a whatever, put together like a display or a whatever they want to do, write a display about it, whatever. Speaking of different languages, I posted that Duolingo.com, Duo, DUO, two. That's a great website to learn other languages. And that was something I was going to put on the little activity calendar, is learn 10 words of another language. Or maybe not 10 words, but depends on how old you are. Maybe have a word of the day, a new word. Because I know a lot of the kids at my old school that did not speak Spanish, they really felt kind of left out because so many of the kids did, that they were teaching themselves Spanish. And so if they could get into that now, or especially if they're taking another language in high school or middle school, they could go ahead and start learning it now. And that was going to be another suggestion for, see if you can get your hands on the curriculum for, this is such a teachery thing to say, I know. But if you, for my county, I can look up the curriculum for 6th grade and know what 5th grade is going to be doing, or I could look up the 9th grade curriculum for my son and kind of point him in the direction of some of the things he's going to be learning about in 9th grade. So that might be a good place to start. Especially check out those. It's the geography, because I asked in my social studies group, I was like, what would you guys say that kids need to work on? Everyone's like, geography, 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 map skills, cardinal directions, all of that stuff. Oh.
And I'm trying to look up this website for Passion Project.
Mm-hmm.
It has, it's called DIY.org.
Yeah, I think Jess talked about that before. Maybe.
Yeah, I think you did it too. It has all kinds of videos too that show the kids how to do different things. So it's a good one for them to look through and then pick what they're interested in. That's
good. Instead of them just trying things on their own and who knows what. I have a little stockpile of stuff over here. A whole bunch of props. A little IKEA cart. This is a good one for little people. There's a map on my lap for Dr. Seuss book. So definitely check that out. That's a good one for geography. And I would read this to 5th grade. I'm pretty sure I read it to 5th grade before. So that's a good one. And thinking of, I don't want to stereotype, but a lot of times, if you have a son or, a child that plays baseball, you could tie in social studies by teaching them about like the history of baseball. I remember a long time ago when I went to the Braves game, I bought this cookbook of the Braves, and, this is recipes from the players, and, maybe make a recipe together that would be one of the family members from the Braves, or learn about keeping score and the history of keeping score. You're tying in math, and, that's taking that interest even farther. And, of course, baseball, there's so much history to baseball. I really, that's a sport I like out of anything, baseball. And so you could learn about, of course, everybody knows about Jackie Robinson, but there are more, people like Roberto Clemente or minority players who need to be learned about. So definitely I would encourage people to, learn about baseball, learn more about baseball and the history of the different stadiums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Or basketball or whatever.
Yes, definitely. Any of those sports. Let's see. We've got, and also this summer, I don't know exactly when, the Olympics, right? And Rio? Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the Olympics in 1996, so I have a lot of random cookbooks that I just keep as a collection that I don't ever do anything with. But have your kids study up on the Olympics, and especially like when the Olympics have been held in the U.S. They were in Atlanta in 1996. I took my daughter to see the torch being passed when she was a baby. So definitely have them research, the history of the Olympics. And I saw this really cute activity where it was like these circles with continents, and there it was like little flags, and the person like sorted the countries onto the continent. So, that's all stuff that you can just do DIY. Or I bought this at Schoolbox, a teacher store, You could have them do that. They definitely do. And that was another answer that everybody said. Read, read, read. So that's why, okay, I got a whole bunch of books. Here is Chicken Soup for the Soul of America. There you go. I love these books. And if you've got, I know it's usually the boys that don't like reading as much as, I'm just thinking about, in my experience, what I've witnessed, the I Survive series, great one to get boys interested. Any like graphic novels? March?
Yeah, my son loves those, yeah.
Yes, book 3 is coming out soon, of the last one of the trilogy. So if you're not familiar with this, it's about the Selma March, and John Lewis is the author. Shameless plug, I got to meet him. So. And then, of course, the Dear America, this is the boy version. There's Dear America. If they would have these when I was little, I would have read every single one. Okay, so yeah. Good for them to read, like, historical fiction and nonfiction. And, like, they've got, this is the boy version, the My Name is America, and the Dear America. And even for little girls, American Girl. So there you go.
Yeah, I have a lot of girls that love the.
Yeah, I have a bookstore downstairs in my house, pretty much. No, since I brought everything home. Other fun graphic novels, and I've talked about these before. These you wouldn't want to. They have more than American history. They've got world history too. So these are great graphic novels. Michelle, I'll let you get a word in edgewise. Sorry. I get excited about social studies.
I just wanted to know, this is what the DIY, if you go to these are like the different activities that they can do. There's tons of different ones. So like, there's like archery, acting, architecture, athlete, astronomer, astronaut. So, I mean, literally like over 100, I think. And then there's like videos, and they can earn the badges too. That's what.
Oh, cool. I might have my son do some of those.
Yeah, and then the other thing we talked about the Special Olympics. So I'm going to put a link in to a website that I found. It's the Little Bins for Little Hands, and she had a whole thing about making your own little Olympic sports activity. Cute. So there were a whole bunch of different games that you could set up for your kids that they could actually like play like they're in the Olympics too.
Fun. And if you are traveling, I post a link to an article from, or a blog post from Michelle Luck about how you can tie in math into like traveling and like measuring distance and figuring out the cardinal directions, because that's probably why I like history more than geography, because there's a lot of math in it. But if you are going on a trip, then she has some really good ideas. And another one I posted is about prop box play. I know especially little kids, especially little girls, they love to play dress up. So why not give them some little dress up, kind of go to good or, thrift shop or something, wash it first if you need to, and have them dress up like historical characters, or have them do that, because do they have time to do that during the school year? Not really, but they can create a whole whatever. When I was little, I was the creative brain, like made myself a little costume out of aluminum foil, so they can probably upgrade with some dress up clothes. So that would be fun.
So this is like a free downloadable the Summer Olympic thing that she came up with.
Oh,
so
that's
put in there. So it's got different activities for them, but it's all done for you. So all you have to do is like print it out, and you just have to get some of the equipment. So
there are a lot. I found a whole bunch of ideas on Pinterest, like Olympics and geography, free geography, like state bingo and stuff like that. So I posted the link to that. But if you just search for like state bingo, there's a lot. Okay, another idea, like if you're going on vacation, and especially I'm thinking about like when I've gone to Savannah in the past, and then look for books there that might be related to social studies. I think my parents got me this one, but this is like Civil War trivia, and this is something that kids are gonna like. Trivia. I've got this one, and then I've got, this is way old, Georgia trivia. It's just the basic stuff just to keep their brains going. And then, tie in ghost stories. Savannah is one of the most haunted cities in the country, and so when I went on this ghost tour a long time ago, and this is like about the history, and it talks about some of the idioms and how they originated, like a dead ringer for somebody. And so that's kind of cool. Have them, get into the ghost stories, because those ghost shows creep me out. But when they go to like a Civil War battlefield or something, I'm like, ooh, now I can get into this unless there's demons. I don't like it when they do the demons, but when they do like this, there's a Civil War soldier, blah, blah, I'm like, that gets my attention.
And when you were talking about the prop box or like little puppet thing, like the Puppet Pal app is a really good one that my son loves too. And that's where they get different characters, and they have like American history ones that are there, but they also have all different kinds of different characters and backgrounds.
Fun.
And so, it's Puppet Pals. I'll put it in.
Cute.
There's Puppet Pals 1 and 2. So either one is really good.
And I could always make, little popsicle stick puppets out of.
Yeah, or paper bag.
Yes, paper bag puppets. There's nothing wrong with taking it old school.
Right.
Puppet Pals, cute. And then if your child does not like to read, I got a suggestion for some good history books on that are on Amazon when I went to a thing for ESOL kids a couple years ago. This one is the Smart Alex Guide to American History.
No.
And then there's also, my kids love this one, Cartoon History of the United States. And the whole thing is like, cartoons. And it's really simplified. So, like, if they didn't do very well on some of the, like, if they didn't understand the whole concept of the American Revolution, like, that's kind of important. So maybe they could go back and, read it in cartoon form. It might make it a little easier.
Mm-hmm. Or having them make cartoons or something.
Yes, definitely. Comic strips
would be a good one.
Okay. I've got craft ideas too. So I've got even more because,
good.
Of course, we could give them tons and tons of websites, but sometimes they need to like take it out of the digital age and take it old school. The easiest, and these, like especially little girls, you can keep them super busy by like saying, why don't you decorate the house for 4th of July? Okay. There are so many crafts on Pinterest that are patriotic themed. And let me tell you, Target Dollar Spot recently, and Hobby Lobby, where was it? Hobby Lobby or Target Dollar Spot? I bought a whole bunch. I think it was Hobby Lobby or Target Dollar Spot. I'm not sure which one, but I found like all of these little crafty things. I know Target Dollar Spot had a bunch. I think those are from Hobby Lobby, but Target Dollar Spot, everything is like patriotic themed right now. They had, even little stars. Like I said, I don't know if these came from. Oh, these are all from Hobby Lobby, but they were all pretty cheap, and you can always get a coupon from Hobby Lobby. So I don't know about you, but I have a ton of extra like craft stuff lying around that I just stockpile and never use. Like clay pots. You can have your kid like decorate them, like put stars on them, or stripes. And I thought about it. You can have your kid make some patriotic crafts and donate them to like some veterans or something, veterans organization. Mm-hmm. So what could you do with a canvas? A whole bunch of stuff with a canvas. You could definitely. It's a rectangle, so it'd be pretty easy to make a flag. Popsicle stick flags. You can make a wreath. Just get some wire and you string bells on the wire. And I would have demonstrated it, but I did not have the right size wire and I didn't want to make a fool out of myself. So you could stick little red bells and blue bells, and there you go. You have a little patriotic craft. Hey, and your kid can even like start their own little side biz, because a lot of people don't want to buy lemonade, but if you have a garage sale or something and they've made their cute little patriotic crafts, everybody wants to be a patriot. So there you go. And that's it. You could even, instead of painting, and even like I've seen mason jars, candle holders, whatever, who doesn't have a hoard of washi tape? Yep. Washi tape. And then have you ordered from that, what is it, Nair, that where you can get order a bunch of teachery stuff? I only did one order because it's like wholesale stuff. I got that. You can do a lot with duct tape. So your kids, let them use it. Sometimes I like to hoard it and not let kids use it, but let them decorate stuff with duct tape. They can do a lot. And I am going to demo one really easy craft. Okay, well, 2 easy crafts. This one is the ugly version, okay? This paper lantern. Okay, I would have taken more time to make some crafts, but like I said, I had to take my son to the doctor this afternoon. So all you do to make a paper lantern is you fold a piece of paper in half, and then you cut it on the side. And of course, can't find my scissors. We're gonna pretend like I can find my scissors, so I'm just gonna problem solve. And then this one's gonna look really ugly. But then you open it back up, and then you can like fold it and then tape it. And of course you can put, it looks a lot cuter if you take more time. Or also if you do it, like have a smaller piece of paper, but make a little paper lantern, use a, pipe cleaner to hang it, hang streamers from the bottom. I saw this on Pinterest. They put stars on the cup and like put a handle on it and hung streamers from the bottom, and it was really cute, like a little windsock. So household objects, keep your kids busy. This little patriotic STEM project, right?
Yeah, and I had our tradition is they decorate their bike or like a scooter or like a wagon or something like that. And then we have like a little parade.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that takes some time too.
Yes. This one's even easier than the paper lanterns. Have them color on a piece of paper. Now you could use colored, decorate that and just make a cylinder. And same thing, just make a little handle out of whatever you want. I made this handle out of folded duct tape and hang streamers, and there you go. That was a piece of paper, literally folded, wrapped around. I would have taped it. I couldn't find the tape, so there you go. That makes a little cute, little easy windsock. And then if your kids have, of course, Father's Day is already passed, but somebody has a summer birthday. If you have little kids and they do something homemade, that's like the cutest thing ever. And speaking of veterans, there's no reason why you can't write letters to soldiers or put together a care package in the summer, not just at Veterans Day. So that's definitely something you could do.
Mm-hmm. And that Little Bin for Little Hands website, they have 4th of July STEM ideas.
Oh, fun. I'll have to check that out. I found a bunch on Pinterest because I have this idea that I'm going to like sell crafts too, a lot of social studies craft. I have more ideas than I have hours in the day. But yeah, those.
She has a whole thing about it.
Cute. That's a great idea. Yeah. Because I know some kids out there like science. I get it. Both my kids are math brains.
But see, it's gotta play.
Yes.
And there's like slime and a density power. It's really, really cool. And then like using straws, taking out straws.
And that's what I love about the thing I like about most STEM projects is they're just like household objects. So, have them use what's around the house or use up of your craft supplies that if you're a teacher, I know you have a ton of extra school supplies at home too.
And I saw, I think it's a smart teaching resource. He has STEM challenges for the landmark. So she has like Gateway Art and I think the Empire State Building. That's like her new product. And I thought, that's perfect for my thing that I'm doing. That'll be right. Because I'm going to do the road trip thing, but I want to make like the Amazing Race. And so they're in teams and have to do different challenges as they go through the regions. So that could be one of them is like STEM challenge for that or puzzle. Different
so things. Are you going to do this at the beginning of the school year or are you doing okay? Because I think
that's my first social studies year.
Yeah, we did a little intro into that this year, and I think that worked out well because I had to start day one with what state do you live in? What country do you live in? What continent? I was like, what planet? You all live on Earth. We did a little like diagram, and that's page 1 in our social studies notebook to make sure. What's funny is when I lived in South Carolina, the kids all thought they lived in South America. I was like, no.
No.
It's like, no, you live in South Carolina, North America, which they don't understand. And so that's really good to do that at the beginning because I know when we got into like westward expansion and the Great Plains, then the kids would be like, they had no idea what states were in the Great Plains. And so if you kind of cover those regions and, allude to things you're going to be talking about later, then you're going to have some kids.
That's the one thing. It's not in our social studies text, but I always start with it because they do have to know their states and capitals here in California. I don't know why, but anyway. So it goes with that, but also just for the whole history. Those right into Americans, explorers. That's what we do in California. So it always follows.
And they just don't know because I know for us, it's not ever directly, like geography is kind of embedded into our history. They threw like Salton Sea in our geography randomly. Salton Sea, Great Salt Lake have nothing to do with anything in history for our standards. So just really weird geography standards. But I just feel like kids, like when I was little, I know we all learned that, everyone in 5th grade learned that song, that state song. States in ABC order, and I just feel like that's because we just don't have time. That geography is a great thing to start out with at the beginning of the school year, because you don't want to dig right into like, oh, the War of 1812, or all this like Bill of Rights. Do you know all the amendments? Like, what's the Constitution? At the beginning of the school year. So geography, there's so many fun activities you can do. I feel like that's a great thing to start with at the beginning of the school year.
And I saw Rocky Teacher
Sarah,
your thing about Mystery Skype or Google Hangouts.
Yes.
So using the information about states, and the river, I'm east of the Mississippi River, or I'm, north of Mexico, or whatever. So the students are trying to figure out where you're located. But you can do that with your own kids too.
Definitely. And I also was I was talking to the art teacher before I left, and she's like made a TBT product or something, or we were talking about TBT about like artists from each state. And so like if your kid is into art or into music, then you can find like have a map and label all the like artists from the state, or like musicians that come from each state. So that would be something, just capitalize on their interests and don't crush their dreams. If they're like, and it might be, little kids especially, they get obsessed with like dinosaurs or something. I don't know. And, find a way to take the dinosaur idea and transfer it into other things, because if not, they're going to drive you crazy. So.
Yep. No, that's a good point.
Yes. So I feel like this is kind of how I did my presentation Friday, but they thought it was good my ideas for ESOL, but when I'm excited about something, I'm all in. So I know that was a lot, and like I said, I'm going to put together a lot of these. I knew Michelle would have some good ideas, so I didn't want to like write up a blog post without her ideas. So I will be compiling these, and I will put together like a little calendar of, and the calendar will be freebie. I will have I'll link to some stuff that might be paid or whatever, but most of it it will be free. And so that is something that you could have your kids do. And I won't put it like exact dates, because if it were my son and it said like June 24th, do this, and it was June 24th, and it said like go to the library or something, then if we didn't do it, then it would be like the end of the world. So I'm just gonna leave it like open-ended, so you can do it when you want, pick and choose, because depending on like vacations or whatever. So that's what I'm going to be putting together.
No, that's a great idea. And our school next year is trying to do a no homework policy, and they want to do like what you're talking about.
Yeah,
just a whole bunch of ideas for parents to do with kids. And in 5th grade, we got her to realize, no, the middle school is going to have homework, so we need to be doing a little bit of homework. So
you just gave me an idea. Let me write that down.
The calendar is perfect for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I could put together some calendars for the months with different ideas related to like holidays during that month or whatever. Or like people's birthdays, like patriotic people's birthdays. Let me write that down before I forget. It's gonna go on my brain.
That's what they're gonna be fun, I guess.
Yes. Okay, I found a pen. Let me write that down. So make homework calendars, because I already have an idea that I'm going to be working on for Keisha.
Yeah,
okay.
Or make it a non-homework calendar.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I won't call it a homework calendar. I'll call it an activity calendar or something.
Yeah.
Challenge. Blah blah. I'll come up with a cute name. I'm all about the what do you call it? Alliteration. So it'll be alliterative probably. Because I didn't even mention have your kids make acrostics because I'm obsessed with acrostics. So if you want your child to make acrostics, I have several examples in my store for free, and then I have a whole project they could do. But everyone else might not be as crazy about acrostics as I am. So I'm just weird that way. Did you have anything else you want to add?
Only other thing was like the breakout ED stuff. Have you ever used that or seen it? But that's like a whole other like level.
It's
just super like involved. Like there's a box, and you're trying to break out of the box. So imagine I have a big box, and these locks are all connected to the breakout box, and so they're solving things from history, or it could be anything really. But then the clues will give them codes to unlock these things.
Oh, cool!
So one is like a word, one is like directions, and one is like a number code. And there's other ones you can do too. And then like a regular key, like this, and that when you hide the key underneath something, like I did it for my son's birthday party. And so this was the last key, and it was underneath one of his little weird character things in his room. But you have to put clues all over for them to solve. So they're like different puzzles. So it could be like something like this.
Yeah.
Rebus thing, and then they use the clue to figure out what the numbers are. And then they had to find, because it was a Utopia one I did, so they had to go find Nick, go figure out the clue. And he had a clue on him. And then they like a map to do the arrow one. So it was, finding the different places and what directions you would travel. And then, so you have to plan it, but it is so much fun.
That looks definitely
interesting how they work together, kind of figure it out, and it's really fun. They really like it.
That does sound like fun, especially like if you have a bunch of kids that like, that's a good idea for like birthday parties, or if they like hang out at your house all the time. You're like, okay, stop playing video games, and here you go. Here's something to do. So,
but there's already done too.
Oh, they're already put together. No,
yeah, you're gonna need to buy the stuff. I just got it on Amazon, but you can make, you can have your own kind of way you do it too. But the clue and the topic are already done.
Yeah, sometimes things are
social studies ones are already done.
Cool. Will you post a link or send me the information about that? So
yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's Breakout. No, it's not Breakout Door. I'm sorry. I think it's Breakout. Yeah, it's like the new thing. And you can buy the box through them. But it doesn't have to be their box. You can have any box with a, thing where you can attach them. And then, like, this was another thing. Like, this is another box that had a code. So then this would have a key inside of it. So it was like a whole escape. Like, they're trying to find a little clue to get the box open.
That is cool. I've never even thought to do stuff like that. I remember when I was doing the gift endorsement, our teacher told us about this like mystery website and it was a link to, I think, the one of those lost colonies, Roanoke or whatever. Civil War through World War II is my area of expertise. It was like a link to why do you think this happened? I'll have to post the link to that website because that would be something fun too. Because it's not just
it's really fun. They have some that are really. Some are a lot easier than others.
Yeah.
So you're going to want to, I chose one that's similar to the birthday one they had on there. And then I just tweaked it to go with the Zootopia theme.
Yeah. That is so cool. Well, that's awesome. I'm glad we did this. And like I said, the next blab I'm going to do is going to be about like genealogy stuff that you can do with kids, because that picnic I went to was really cool. And my son was like, Mom, you're the second youngest person there, or third, including him, because I said that's because history isn't hip. So that's where my whole, like, I'm going to make history hip, because that was really neat to, learn about this. There was actually a college student there that spoke about how he's like chronicling his ancestry. So I definitely want to talk about that. That for the next blab. So thank you for watching. And once again, I am Andrea Reynolds, and I appreciate you watching. And I am looking forward to bringing the social studies to you. I'm trying to do more regular Periscopes. And if you're not in my social studies group on Facebook, it's called Social Studies Salute. Join me there. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye, thanks.